You guys seen that they're trying to redo The Crow again finally?
Man, they've been trying to do Crow.
This is
like
the
that.
classics
alone.
Well,
exactly.
well, they tried it with Jason Momoa,
And
but
he
now,
dropped out. Yeah.
but now they got, and I don't know if you guys saw the pictures of him as Crow. He looked dope.
So here's
Without,
he did.
But they got the guy that plays Pennywise. What's his name?
Oh, with the weird smile.
Yeah, they're trying to make one with him now.
Well, so here's my thing with The Crow. I loved the first movie with Brandon Lee. I even like the second one, City
and he
of
was supposed to
Angels.
be the Matrix too, Neo.
Yeah. Because they've made 3 Crow movies and a Crow TV show. Like every time it's a different Crow.
Yeah.
And now it feels like, well, we're just gonna make it Eric Draven again because that's what everybody knows, and that was the first one. Like I feel like you don't need to reboot The Crow. You can just make another Crow movie about another person
guy
who
that gets
is the
murdered.
Crow. It doesn't have to be Eric Draven all over again.
Yeah,
To me, that
make
just
it a
feels
sequel.
lazy.
Yeah.
So
Question for you guys. Does it bother you, or does it like make it hard to get involved with the character when some of these celebrities are so big already, like in real life?
Yes,
So like
does.
it's hard to separate like Will Smith from whatever superhero he does or something, or something like that.
Like it was hard.
You know what I
it was
mean?
hard for some people to take the. We just talked about the Matrix because it's fucking Bill from Bill and Ted or Ted whatever playing the Matrix is like
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. Whoa, the scene where he does whoa, everybody was laughing in theaters.
Well, so
It depends on the performance.
Well, here's what I'll say:
me.
if you go back to like the first Superman movie with Christopher Reeve, Richard Donner talked about how he wanted to cast an unknown
That was Richard
because
Donner?
Richard, this guy who did Lethal Weapon movies,
And he also
did
did
Superman.
the what was it called? The Lost Boys.
Yes.
No,
That was Schumacher.
That was Schumacher.
Never mind.
But anyway, he said he wanted to cast an unknown because he wanted people to see Superman on the screen. They didn't want to see. He was like, I don't want people to see Robert Redford in tights. I want people to see
That's
Superman.
That's why they also
so-
didn't do.
so that was kind of
Leo
my-
DiCaprio as Spider-Man.
Okay, what?
Yeah, they were gonna do Leo DiCaprio as
Back in the
Or
day?
Tom
Back
Cruise
when
as
he was
Iron Man.
younger, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And see, this was like one of my things too. Like, I had an issue with this when I saw Black Adam. Seeing The Rock was like really hard because
he plays the same character in every movie.
In every
Horrible
movie,
actor.
he's a Well, no, I don't think he's a terrible actor, but I think for this specific movie, he was a really bad actor, and it just like
movie.
didn't translate for me at all. Like, I couldn't get into the character. You know, and
I think
just
part
couldn't.
of it is also it was very easy to see where they were trying to cherry pick from other films. Like,
Yes.
oh, he's trying to
Yes.
do that Terminator 2 thing with a catchphrase.
Yes. It felt very much like, to me, and I use this example when I was explaining it to my parents, like when I try to write a song like that sounds like someone else, right? I'll be like, oh, I want to make a song like that, and then I make it, and it's like, I get where I was going with it, but it's like not even close
It's not
to
you.
it,
Yeah.
right? That's what it felt like. It felt like they had a Marvel size budget potentially, and they were like, oh, this is what Marvel would do, and then they tried to do it, and it was like,
It was a
there was
bad.
a lot of plot hole, or not plot holes, but like things that were like unnecessary.
It's a DC film that went through a ton of rewrites. Like, because I remember
Like,
I'm on
felt
so
wrong.
much.
When you
I'm on
say-
so much pills right now.
Let me ask you.
I'm feeling
Just
like I'm
shut up.
floating. I'm sorry.
Stop interrupting.
Because also the Rock in Black Adam's film was because The Rock was trying to be a character in DC for like forever.
Right.
Like, I heard
They announced him as Black Adam in like
2000
2007.
yeah, something like that.
Like
way
07
back when
he was cast.
Yeah,
He's been asking for it.
and
too,
he was
like-
trying to be. Then he was trying to pick all these different characters. It was like supposed to be Black Adam. Then he was saying like maybe I might be Superman. Then everybody was like, nah, that's
Then they
Henry
made a
Cavill.
video game character look like him too.
Yeah, and then it was like, okay, he's gonna be Green Lantern. That would be dope as hell. And then he got Black Adam, but then he started going through all this different stuff. Like, and originally, Black Adam was supposed to be the villain of Shazam, the first one. Then it's okay, well, no, we're gonna make him the second one. Then The Rock was like, no, we're gonna have Black Adam have his own movie. And it was like because of the success of Deadpool was like anti-hero was like, okay, cool, whatever. But then I'm started watching the movie, right? And then I'm watching it, and then we're gonna send in the Justice Society. I was like, the who? The Justice Society? I'm like, we don't even know none of these characters, like Hawkman, Adam, Cyclone. I'm like, these people should have had their own shit, and we're just throwing this in here. And then
They're just using Amanda Waller to be the Nick Fury.
Exactly, and then it was like the mask.
So inappropriate.
The master with the mask who
Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate. I'm just like, that's a whole dope character too that I've seen in the comic books, and so it's like all this shit thrown. I'm just like, hey, go DC throwing a ton of stuff again, and like you can't focus on The Rock, and then I'm kind of like, what is going on?
That's where it goes back to the people like me who are not invested in the comic books and just going to see it.
Yeah.
There was no introduction, it felt like, to any of these characters, and you just it felt like you were throwing like it was like a Marvel movie of a bunch of superheroes and villains I didn't know about.
Again.
Throwing shit at a chocolate.
And it was like for the 30% of people that have no idea what the fuck we're watching, we still have no context.
And that,
so far, the only MCU film where they've actually brought a bunch of characters you didn't know together was like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Right.
But that they did it well because they knew how to bring an ensemble cast in a natural way.
Well, Eternals too, but that was successful.
Oh yeah, Eternals. I forgot about Eternals.
Yeah.
But like, I when you say they were trying to be like Marvel, do you mean like make a good movie? Because that seems to be.
I think. Well, I
build
think
an
the way
ensemble.
I think
Build an ensemble.
the ensemble.
Okay.
I think the way it was shot felt very Marvel-ish, right? It felt like there's a difference to me when I saw like Batman and Superman versus Iron Man, or when you saw the Avengers movies, right?
Yeah, because no one give a fuck about Iron Man like that.
No, but okay, but what I'm talking about is like the way they shot it.
Yeah.
Right. It felt like two different. You knew a DC movie versus a Marvel movie, and then this one, if you didn't tell me what it was,
You would have thought it was Marvel.
I would have thought it was Marvel.
So it wasn't as dark, is what
It wasn't as dark.
You identify them by a Snyder looking
color
film.
grading.
Right,
Snyder
color grading,
versus the
color
Russo
grading
brothers.
very much, and that's how I felt about it.
But that's not even. I mean, the whole.
I know
dark,
that's kind of a dumb argument.
No.
But that's like
No,
coming from
that's-
someone who doesn't watch or doesn't is not invested in these characters. Like,
So this has been the
That's not a dumb argument at all.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were in a film class, you'd be rightful to point that shit out. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, and then also with the whole DC and Marvel thing, DC has known to be more dark than Marvel.
Right.
So then like the
Even though Marvel can be dark as fuck too.
Marvel could be dark too, but
Punisher
like
shit.
DC has been like going with that. But then the problem with DC, a lot of the changes over the year was that they was too dark. They was like, we want to be we want to make everything dark. We're gonna mute the colors.
Everything is Batman level. Dark.
And then everyone was just like, no, you don't have to do all. You don't have to make everything super dark. And then with Black Adam, it was like The Rock wanted to make his character
Dark.
the center and future of the DCU. That's what it was. So that's why it was like brighter and all this kind of stuff. The stakes was higher and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, but all these characters, like how you said, you didn't know, and there was really no introduction to none of these characters. And as a fan and a dude who knows all these people, I'm like, yeah, we need introduction of this person, that person,
Origin stories.
this person, origin stories. I'm like, these are 6 characters we all could have kind of introduced. I'm like,
Which you could do afterwards, but it's kind of like too.
But then I hate when how are you gonna have a whole movie of bringing everybody together, and now we're gonna have an origin film like 3 years later. I'm like, why didn't you just do an origin? Because then
because
that
Marvel
movie
did that the first time.
Because I'm like that movie doesn't make sense of y'all teamed up and said, oh, now we're gonna go back and show you the origins of all these people. Now it's like that movie wasn't as good because we didn't know all this stuff before it.
Right.
Like,
And we
this
know
is
where this
Black
is going.
Adam's
Now-
origin movie, not Justice Society,
Now,
Adam, Dr. Fate. It was so all that stuff.
right.
I'm definitely tempted to bring up, the X-Men didn't necessarily go out of their way
That's the one
to introduce everybody individually. But then I think the problem here is premise.
Yep.
With the premise of X-Men,
You talking about the first ones?
the first movie,
Which is great because it was just like, Magneto is some guy that controls metal.
right?
But
what I was going to say
We all
is that
knew,
the thing that makes X-Men work is the premise is it's a school. So of course all these people are coming together because it's you don't need to have
Right.
There's a reason why they're
there's a reason why they're all there.
And
But for Justice Society, it's kind of like, okay, they know each other. Why are you all together exactly?
What does the Justice Society do? What's their purpose?
And I think always we've known X-Men as a group.
Especially
as
because of the cartoons.
a ton of people. And in the
they were
cartoons,
speaking to us, the kids that
Right.
watched the
so it's
cartoons.
like they're like, oh, who are these? You don't need an origin story because we know a little bit about it. Like, okay, how'd you kind of come? Professor X, this is a school. He gets people to come to his mutant school and stuff like that. So you bring mutants to his school, and then now you guys know it's the X-Men, and this is what the X-Men does because the X-Men has always been a group. So that kind of stuff. So I think that works better versus other characters weren't already like a group kind of a sense or always thought of as a group at times,
School
so
makes it real easy.
So that makes
Like if they did-
the whole Black Adam crew, all those characters were not characters that I grew up with, like
exactly.
knowing on the top of my head. I know who Wolverine is, even if I don't know his every detail about his origin story. I know who Magneto is. I know Superman. I know Batman. I know Iron Man.
You know the main people.
I know the main people, and they were none of those characters were main people that I knew. That's why I was like, I watched the whole movie, and I was just like, man, this had so much potential, and it just.
I wanted to watch it because the comics in Black Adam, right? What's his name?
Oh, Mo Amer. Yeah, he was good in it too. He was super funny.
He was funny in it too. That's why I wanted to watch it.
He was super good. Mo's doing.
But I didn't like the movie. I don't know. I
didn't either.
It wasn't. It
was definitely no Wakanda Forever.
For all the stuff,
I like bits.
Yeah. For all the stuff that you know and learned about or heard that how long The Rock's been working on this, and you get that as the payoff. You're just like, bruh, what is this?
Stick to the rundown.
Yeah, just it's kind of you should have just been, but you should have definitely just been in a villain. You should have just been a villain and Shazam.
I think what fucked him up is that he's already the superstar that he is. They waited so long to put him in one of these movies.
Well, yeah, he's super busy too. So and that's what it is. It's all right.
Well, you fucked up because Jason Momoa, right? Yeah. I know he was already coming up.
Yeah,
but.
Aquaman.
He became a household name after Aquaman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he also redefined what we think of Aquaman with the yellow, the orange gloves and the fucking.
Right. That's the one thing.
Shit! Everybody stopped laughing
like that. That was a great.
Everybody stopped laughing.
He's a superhero now.
That was the one great thing. DC went dark with him to stop having people laugh. It was like, oh, this dude is serious. He's big. He's jacked.
Everybody shut up.
Yeah, and then with The Rock, it's kind of because you're such a big dude, you're such a big personality, all that kind of stuff. You wanted your own movie with Black Adam because you felt that you're a star, so Black Adam should be a star too. And it's no, bro, you're always supposed to be against. Shazam against Superman, you don't need your own movie because now you're an anti-hero, so it's always kind of oh, is he a good guy? Is he a bad? And so you have all this other stuff going on with it. It's no, bro, you're a villain. Just make you one of the. Basically, you should have made you could have made Black Adam the Thanos of DC, but then it wouldn't work, or just of these characters.
It's a desperate move. It's a desperate move because they're trying to keep up with fucking Marvel.
Yeah.
And it's just we're gonna turn this character that could have been, killing whole villages into
an anti-hero.
And you said that he's a villain.
He's a villain.
He's a fucked.
I didn't get that from the movie at all.
He went from villain to anti-hero,
and he did that.
He joins the Justice Society.
Well, it's kind of like Venom. Venom was a Spider-Man villain, and now he's his own anti-hero. It's the same thing with Black Adam. He was Shazam's main villain, and now he's kind of his own anti-hero
in the comics.
So did they ever put Black Adam? Because I don't remember him in the first Shazam movie either.
No.
He has a small cameo when they're in the cave thing, and the Shazam wizard Shazam.
And was that The Rock as well?
Billy Batson, the first champion. We see a little CGI Rock.
So he's hinted in the first Shazam movie because he wasn't in it, but he's I've been trying to pick the right person. He's the last time I did it, he's talking about Black Adam. That's the hint at Black Adam. He's it didn't go well. Power corrupted him. So then he's talking about Black Adam, and he's now you're the right one. I chose you, Billy Batson, and it should have been that. You fight the first villain in the second one, because even I like Shazam 2, Fear of God.
Who was the first villain in the first one? I didn't see
it was an ordinary.
Dr. Savannah.
Yeah, Dr. Savannah. It was more of a grounded thing. I was small level, but then okay, now the second one is I got my powers and not working. Now I should be fighting the first champion who messed up, whatever, but he became an anti-hero when really the Rock just wanted his own movie. He wanted Black Adam.
And that's the problem. He has the fucking power now that he's the most paid actor.
Yeah. So that was the problem with that. How Marcos, you said sometimes actors play you used to see him as this. Really, his star power was nah, I'm not going to play this small role.
I need a bigger role if I'm going to do this.
That can happen.
That can happen.
It can work in a movie. Just make it just both classes and shit, or
just give him royalties.
They should have. They should have really. The Black Adam film should have been more like Brightburn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the thing, dude. And
they even messed that up too. That was So back to the comic book stuff like that. How do you guys think about the new direction of DC and James Gunn taking over? Are you mad that Ben Affleck is back up? I know you're mad. Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, and then the Flash.
They're done, right?
Yeah, they're all done.
So a lot of people, especially Snyder fans, are kind of upset with James Gunn for just rebooting everything. Like we're gonna do a new Superman. Yeah. We're gonna do this, do that. We're
but is he still doing?
Scratch.
Is he still doing Guardians?
Let him finish.
Yeah, he's promoting Guardians 3, right? He's still doing Guardians 3.
It's coming out next month. Do you think he's not doing it?
It's the last of the bunch.
No, he's not doing it. It comes out next month.
It's the last Guardian movie.
I feel like if James Gunn would have given everybody they wanted, if James Gunn's announcement was we're going to do Man of Steel 2 with Henry Cavill, we're going to do Wonder Woman 3 with a new director, we're going to do Black Adam 2 and it's going to have Shazam in there, we're going to release the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad, and we're going to bring Snyder back and do a Justice League 2 that wraps everything up, and then we're going to reboot everything and just giving everybody everything they wanted. And then those films continue to bomb like these past few DC films have. He's going to get the boot. They'd bring somebody else in, and he doesn't get to tell a single one of the stories he actually wanted to tell. Yeah. Because he felt some obligation to tie up these loose ends. And we don't know behind-the-scenes politics. Like, for all we know, Gal Gadot could be like, well, if Patty Jenkins ain't coming back, I'm not coming back.
I think that's what happened.
And The Rock could be like, fuck Shazam. I'm not going to be in a movie with Shazam.
And that would happen too, I heard.
And Ben Affleck could be like, I'm sick of these franchise films. Like, we don't know any of the behind-the-scenes politics.
Ben Affleck was done after Batman vs. Superman because it did bad.
There's movies where he turned in what was supposedly, according to David S. Goyer, the greatest Batman script he's ever read.
Well, Ben Affleck had said his experience on Justice League is what made him leave the role. He was excited to do Batman and do his solo film, but then the whole experience making Justice League with the reshoots and Joss Whedon and all the studio interference just like killed his passion. And it was like, I'm done with this.
I also heard that Batman script wasn't good. I heard it was like I heard
it was one of the best ones.
I heard it was like full of plot holes. I heard it was like not that good, but then DC was like, don't worry, we can just put this out anyway, and then it'll like, they might have rewrote it, but I heard the initial script or whatever, it wasn't that good.
Well, I heard like Jay Olivia, the guy who directs all the DC animated films, he like came out on Twitter or something when it was first, when like Matt Reeves' Batman film was first coming out, and people were bringing up this, and he was just like, I read Ben Affleck's Batman script. It was the best Batman story I ever read. Yeah. So.
Okay, so now
this is early on, so I'm thinking it probably could have got rewritten to eventually be good. But
I mean, but DC doesn't do rewrites; they do reshoots. That's a huge difference.
Ooh.
Can you believe the Voice Party has had merch this whole time and we neglected to tell anybody? T-shirts, hoodies, bath mats, wall clocks, throw pillows, even mini skirts. We will throw our logo on absolutely anything. Click the link in the description below and pick you up some Voice Party merch today.